recently did a show with my good friend Constance Arnold on the Law of Attraction Radio Network. The show is titled How to Imagine Your Way to Abundance. The show is very popular as everyone wants to know how to bring more wonderful things into their lives. This morning I was reading the daily passage in the book The Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes, and today's topic was on what he calls the Law of Correspondence, which he describes this way. The limit of our ability to demonstrate depends upon our ability to provide a mental equivalent of our desires. For the law of correspondence works from the belief to the thing, but it is within our power to provide a greater mental equivalent through the unfolding of consciousness, and this growth from within will finally lead to freedom. And from there he quotes some passages from the Bible which are saying the same thing just in a different way. Act as though I am, and I will be. And, as thou hast believed, so be it done. The message contained in these teachings essentially says, if you want more, believe more. You have the right to think about whatever you desire, so instead of thinking about what you don't have right now in your life, start thinking about that which you desire and get into the feeling of having it already. One of my favorite techniques for creating the vibration of abundance is to play what I call the prosperity game. The best way to play this game is to have your significant other or someone else who understands the law of attraction play the game with you. My wife and I, Robin, often play this game when we are out doing a long hike in the mountains. The way the game is played is really simple. You start off with the belief that you have just won the lottery and now you have a ton of money. I like to start off with $100 million, but you can use whatever amount that you believe you could manifest. You then take turns with your partner, buying things that you desire and keeping track of how much money you spent until you spent all your money. We always start with taking 10% off the top and giving it to charity. And we will then designate which charities and how much we are giving to each one of them. An example could be that we donate $1 million to the Breckenridge Outdoor Education Center. Next, we make investments into income-producing assets, which will allow us to live abundantly for the rest of our lives. A good example of this could be that we invest $20 million and buy 5 large apartment complexes, which gives us an annual cash flow of $1.5 million per year. Once the big stuff is out of the way, then the fun really starts. This is where you get to buy the toys or whatever things you think would be really fun to own. You have a ton of money to spend, so let's get started. The only rule here is that you cannot spend all the money in one spot and end the game. You need to keep spending it and buying more and more things. Here's some examples. Buying a 1940 Chris Craft Classic teak wooden speedboat for $50,000. Buying a house on Lake Tahoe which has a dock and boathouse for your speedboat, and which also has an amazing view of the mountains for $1.5 million. Taking your family on a trip to Disney World for a week for $10 grand. Buying your sister a beautiful home in Spain on the Mediterranean for $1 million. Paying off the mortgage on your house of worship for $500,000. The more detail you can put in, the better. Instead of saying, I'm buying a Corvette, instead saying, I'm buying a dark green 1969 convertible Corvette which has a 427 motor in it with a jet black interior and 4-speed transmission. Then see yourself in your mind's eye driving it and get into the feeling of it being true. We have played this game for over 4 hours straight, and the more we play, the longer we find we can play it. It really gets fun when the person you are playing with starts to have challenges with coming up with something new to buy, as they've gotten to the point where they already have everything they can think of having. Playing the prosperity game will absolutely raise your vibration, and you can feel an increase in your energy when you're playing it. You can have it all, but you're going to need to create the space from within first to have it manifest into your experience. By the way, don't forget to buy Robin and I something really cool for teaching you the prosperity game.